Welcome, Gerard. How are you?
I'm well. Dev, how are you?
Doing very well, and thanks for the time today.
My pleasure.
You run this channel on multiple socials called Big State.
That's right.
And then you do a lot of reporting and a few podcasts and a lot of political interviews you have done. But before we go there, could you talk a bit more and give us a bit of an idea of what you are, who you do, what you do, and then a bit of a backdrop?
Sure. I mean, I these days largely seem to make stuff for the internet, create content for TikTok. As Big State, as you mentioned, I run a newsletter/podcast called The Last Place on Earth. And both of those, I guess, are about uncovering what's going on in Western Australia and uncovering some of the ways in which our political system is captured by big, powerful interests. You know, obviously conspiracy theories are a big thing these days, but I actually think you don't have to go to all these kind of out there and wacky things about lizard people or tinfoil hats and pizza parlours and whatnot. The real conspiracy is right in front of our face. It is the way that big corporate business interests, including the oil and gas industry, including property developers, have a real hold over government in Australia, but especially government in Western Australia. So that's kind of my main focus these days, is trying to shine a light on some of that.
Could you tell us a bit more on the journey, that why did you landed in doing what you're doing?
Sure.
Your growing up, and then what was important for you as you grow up, and then your first job, and talk through that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, look, I grew up in Bunbury, so Bunbury, Western Australia. What was important to me then was the place around me was really important. You know, I grew up kind of playing in the bush and going to the beach in kind of, I think, the last era where kids were allowed to roam freely. Like, I grew up in that time, and I think that kind of, I was at the tail end of that. And that was really important to me because it gave me a sense of love and appreciation for the place that I lived. And I guess another thing that was always important to me growing up was this idea of a fair go. And that's an idea which is kind of fundamental to, I think, the Australian character, is the idea of a fair go. But we hear less and less of it. It's something that I think we're perhaps forgetting as Australians, is the importance of a fair go. But that was always important to me, and I think you can see a through line from that to what I'm doing now. I was a high school teacher for 5 years, an English teacher. I really enjoyed that. Liked working with young people, found that very inspiring, seeing intelligent young people. Got fairly frustrated with the education system. I think that it wasn't, the education system wasn't letting young people fulfil their full potential. And so I had some frustration there, decided I wanted to do other things. Since then I've been doing some writing, some campaigning, new media stuff, trying my hands at all different things. I was a radio producer in the Pilbara for a couple of years. So I just kind of tend to take life where it takes me, you know, and it's taken me to some fairly interesting places so far, I think. So, yeah.